What if I told you that the cleanest house in Japan is not clean because people spend hours cleaning? In fact, many Japanese families spend less time cleaning than most people. Yet somehow, their homes remain organized, peaceful, and almost completely free of clutter. So what's their secret? Do you know? If not, then watch this video till the end. Because in this video, I will tell you both the reason and solution. Japanese and related to you. Look, this is not a special cleaning product. This is not an expensive storage container, and it's certainly not perfection. Instead, it relies on a simple habit that stops trouble before it starts. A habit so powerful that once you understand it, you'll never look at your home the same way again. Let's talk about the habit of Japan that stops mess before it starts. And don't miss the last trick, because lastly, I will tell you about a powerful habit, so let's start. 1. The real problem is not cleanliness. Most people think they have a hygiene problem, but this is not actually true. The real problem is accumulation. Think about it. A messy room does not become dirty in a moment. This happens little by little. A jacket is thrown on a chair. Shoes are left near the door. One thing becomes two. Two becomes 10. The average person waits until the disturbance becomes impossible to ignore. Then they spend the whole week fixing it. But Japanese culture sees it differently. Instead of focusing on cleaning up the mess, they focus more on preventing the spread of dirt in the first place. 2. Quit this habit immediately. The habit is incredibly simple. Many people in Japan follow an unwritten rule. If you finished using something, return it immediately. Not when you're feeling motivated, rather immediately, the moment your work is completed. Like when the book will be finished reading, so put it back where you took it from. Then took off your shoes, keep shoes where they belong. Then you used a pen, keep it in its place. It almost seems too simple, but that's exactly why it works. Because clutter usually arises in the seconds between using something and deciding that you'll put it away later. 3. Why is this habit so powerful? Here's what psychologists have discovered. Every unfinished task takes up mental space. Your brain notices the disorder even when you think you are ignoring it. That's why clutter often feels stressful. You may not pay attention to it intentionally, but your brain does this. Like every pile of clothes, every random object on the table, every pile of papers. They create little signals that tell your brain that something is incomplete here. Over time, those signs increase. That's why messy environments often make people feel distracted, tired, and overwhelmed. Japanese homes reduce this mental burden by eliminating incomplete decisions, and everything immediately goes back to the same place. Like the result, less visual noise, less stress, and cleanliness is a distant matter. 4. The power of small actions. Most people underestimate the power of small actions. He believes that big results require big efforts, but Japanese culture often emphasizes continuity over intensity. 1 minute of action repeated every day is more powerful than a 3-hour cleansing session once a month. You do not take care of those things until your things are completely damaged. You do a small amount of work every day. Cleaning works the same way. When small tasks are automated, they prevent big problems from becoming big. And this habit does exactly that. It turns the organization into a daily reflection. 5. Why do most people fail? Here's the interesting part. Most people already know that they should get rid of things. So why don't they? Because they rely on inspiration. They say to themselves, I'll do it later. But the latter comes for them only occasionally. The human brain naturally prefers convenience. The problem is that today's convenience creates work tomorrow. Japanese organizational habits recognize this reality. Instead of relying on future inspiration, they do the job perfectly. The rule is simple. Use what I just told you. Put the stuff back where you took it from. No argument with anyone. No conversation with anyone. Give value to time, not delay. 6. One-touch philosophy. There is another idea associated with this habit. This is sometimes called the one-touch rule. The goal is simple. Handle things only once whenever possible. Imagine that you received a letter. Suppose many people keep it on the counter. Then later it is taken to a table. That's multiple touch. Instead, you handle it all at once. Decide immediately, because the work must be done. The same principle works with clothes, utensils, paperwork, and everyday objects. The less often you touch something, the less clutter it creates. 7. Why do Japanese houses look different? Have you ever looked at pictures of Japanese houses and noticed something? Even small spaces often feel quiet, almost bigger than what they actually live in. Part of that feeling comes from the design, but a large part comes from organization habits. When surfaces remain clean, your brain feels less congested. When objects have designated homes, the environment feels intentional. And when chaos does not accumulate, so cleaning becomes very easy. Space starts working with you instead of against you. This is why many people describe Japanese interiors as cozy. 8. Start it today itself. This is an impotent thing. You don't have to change your whole life. You don't need to buy anything, and you don't need to spend hours organizing. Start with one rule. For the next 24 hours, whenever you finish using something, return it immediately. That is all. No exceptions. Notice how often you are tempted to leave things for later, how much future work disappears when you take 10 seconds now. But after a few days, it becomes automatic, and once it becomes automatic, your home starts staying clean with less effort.
9. The hidden benefit no one talks about. But here's the surprise. The biggest advantage isn't a clean house. This is a calm mind, because every object in your environment communicates something to your brain. Clutter creates anarchy, communicates command and control. When your surroundings feel organized, your thoughts often become more organized too. You spend less time searching for things, spend less time dealing with preventable problems, and focus more time on what really matters. Therefore, this habit is more important than cleanliness. It's about reducing friction in everyday life. Therefore, start this work from today itself. So if you're wondering why some people intuitively keep their homes clean, the answer is not that they like cleaning. The answer is that they rarely let trouble begin. They understand one simple truth. It is easier to prevent dirt than to remove it, and it's a Japanese habit that stops chaos before it starts. A small action, a simple rule, returning items promptly. Because sometimes the secret to a clean house isn't cleaning more. First of all, it creates less dirt, and once you start doing that, everything changes. So friends, if you found this information useful, subscribe for more psychology, productivity, and life-changing habits from around the world.